Here's a very shocking, surprising story. There was once a big general in um, in the Israeli army, and he became a prime minister. He became the prime minister of Israel, and he probably the I don't know if the most unsuccessful, but he was close to the bottom of the unsuccessful leaders of the Israeli. I got to get a new. Okay, so right, his name was Ariel Sharon. They called him Arik Sharon, and Arik Sharon was a genius in military strategy, and in the Yom Kippur War, he basically saved the day. The army was surrounded. The Israelis were surrounded. The Yom Kippur War was, in general, was a huge tragedy, but I don't want to go into the whole business now. But it was basically the fault of the Israeli government, and they thought that was with Golda Meir and Moshe Dayan, and they thought that as soon they would let the Arabs attack us, and then the world would have mercy on us, and they'd see that. And of course, that didn't happen. The world had no mercy on us whatsoever, and a couple thousand of Israeli Jewish boys got killed for absolutely no reason. And eventually, she had to quit, and they tried to make a big cover over it. Okay, but Arik Sharon, he saved the whole day. The Israeli army was surrounded, and he made this breakthrough against the orders of the high command. He made a breakthrough, and he saved the whole day basically. So he was a big hero, and he went to the Rebbe. He went to the Rebbe. He went to America, and what exactly were the details surrounding this meeting? I don't know, but anyway, he went to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe told him, by the way, not to leave the army, not to leave the army, to stay in the army. That's your place. To retire. Don't go into politics. Don't go into politics. The Rebbe told him that. And that's not the story. I'll tell you the story in a minute. But the Rebbe told him definitely not to go into politics, and he did not listen to the Rebbe. And the whole reason that the Arabs have Gaza today is because he gave it to them. He gave it to them. And okay, so, but before that, he was a very successful general, and he had saved the Jewish people, and etc. and etc. So he went to the Rebbe, and he figured it was just a cordial meeting. He had heard a lot of things. They say that the Rebbe was the one who told him to make this breakthrough in the Yom Kippur War. That he didn't know what to do, and the emissaries of the Rebbe, the shluchim, they were always there, encouraging the soldiers and putting tefillin on them and making them happy. And so he sent a letter to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe answered him that he should make this breakthrough in the Yom Kippur War, which saved the people. Okay, so he went to the Rebbe, maybe just to say thank you or whatever it was, and he figured, an old Jewish rabbi, what's he got in common with this rabbi? But he was amazed. He came out and he said that the Lubavitcher Rebbe knows as much about the situation in Israel. He knows secret things that nobody knows. He says, I don't know how he knows. He understands the situation like a general. He was just totally knocked out. So the Rebbe said to him, how are you going home? So he said, I have a plane to catch in another few hours. He thought he was fidgeting. He was fidgeting around. He said, he said, I have a plane to catch in another like 4 hours, and he has to go back to the hotel. He figured the Rebbe would be the last person he saw, maybe on the way to the airport, whatever it was. So the Rebbe said, don't take that plane. Take a plane afterwards. So he said, no, I already have. They said, don't, you'll cancel the flight. Cancel your flight and go down the road. And the Rebbe said, why are you in such a big hurry? Because you have gifts you want to bring to your grandchildren. You can give them to you want to buy gifts for your grandchildren. You can buy gifts. You can give it to them in another few hours. So at first he thought, listen, I'm going to listen to this man. But the Rebbe started talking about the situation in Israel, and he realized that the Rebbe had some sort of superhuman knowledge of what was going on. It was just. So he listened to what the Rebbe said. He canceled his flight, and he took a flight which was the next day or whatever it was, called home. And that flight that he took was hijacked. And they hijacked it like to Algeria or somewhere, and they looked for an important person. The hijackers, Arabs, hijacked it, and they looked for him. And when they didn't they discovered he wasn't on the plane, so they let everybody go. They didn't hold anybody any. They wanted to get him. So he was very amazed. When he came, how does everybody know the story? Because he was invited to come and speak. He has a relative in Chabad. It's a long story, but anyway, so they invited him to come to speak or to be present in a Yud Tet Kislev for bringing here in Kfar Chabad, and it's 1976, whenever it was, and he told this whole story over. And he said that's what it was. And then afterwards, his relative got married, and I was present. There were what's called Sheva Brachos after a wedding. This was like maybe in the 80s already. And he was for the whole peace plan. This was before he gave Gaza away. He was for the whole peace plan. He became like a sort of a leftist, very strange. And he changed. And he said there at the Sheva Brachos that I was there, he said, I used to be very close to the Rebbe. And he said, the Rebbe saved my life. He said, but now the Rebbe doesn't want to have anything to do with me. What doesn't want to? After he gave in to the pressure, the Rebbe told him not to, as the Rebbe didn't want to receive him anymore for a private audience. He didn't listen. So the point of the story is somehow or other, the point of the story, somehow or other, the Lubavitcher Rebbe knew how he could possibly know. He knew all these secret things about the Israeli army and the government, and he knew that his plane was going to be hijacked. Now, how could he possibly know that? There's no possible logical way to know. I mean, maybe he had a spy in the Israeli government, in the army. Let's say in some far away it is. How the person would know these secrets and why he would give them over to the Rebbe. So obviously the Rebbe somehow or other knew it from, you want to call it prophetic spirit or superhuman perception, whatever it was. But the point is that he told Arik Sharon not to go into politics. And he saved Arik Sharon's life, but he didn't save a lot of other lives because Arik Sharon went into politics and he gave away Gaza, and that's cost the lives of hundreds, if not more, of Jews. But it'll all fix up. The whole thing will be fixed up when we do start, listening to the Rebbe. We can't fix what was, but we certainly can fix what is and what will be by doing what the Rebbe says and spreading Torah and commandments and learning Chassidut as much as possible and demanding that Hashem should bring Mashiach now. Have a good day. See you all tomorrow at 8:15.